She learns that she attempted to commit suicide, and along with the blood she lost her memories. As well, he tells her that he was the first one to find her in the bathtub. Her overbearing husband wants Sarah to rest enough and gather her strength over time. And then he tells her everything is going to be different now. Even though she's living in her parents' house, she feels something off about her surroundings. She hears the grandfather clock bell ring often, but she cannot find one in the house. Even the bathtub that Nick mentioned that he found her in is not there anymore. When she asks Nick about the bathtub, he tells her that he had it removed after the incident. With time, Sarah starts regaining bits and pieces of her memories. She remembers that she had a sister, but she does not remember that her parents have passed away. However, according to Nick, her sister Julie is a selfish person who has manipulated their parents' will to take over everything and leave her with just the empty house. Now, Nick has hired a maid named Rose to take care of Sarah when he's working on his typewriter. However, since the first encounter, Rose seems to be quite hostile towards Sarah. For no reason, Sarah frequently has weird nightmares, and the grotesque figures in her dream tell her to run. And when Nick gives her some pills to help her relax, sometimes she dreams of herself in the bathtub, slitting her wrist and crawling on the floor. At other times, she sees some unknown person checking on her, but weirdly, one of them seems to be just her sister. Are you enjoying this video? Click subscribe. You would be helping me continue to create more sexy movie recaps just like this for you. Julie is a loving sister who prays for Sarah's quick healing and good health in her thoughts. Sarah does not feel like she has a relationship with Nick, but she has no memories of them at all. She also has not figured out who she really is, which makes her frustrated. Still, she wants to give them a chance and start over. Even though Sarah is having a lot of problems, her health is slowly getting better. So Nick suggests that they have a simple dinner party with their closest friends. He tells her that their friends have been worried about her and that it will be a good chance to catch up with them. One day, a man named Tom comes to Sarah's house. He says he is Julia's friend and that he is there to help her. He gets her a key and tells her to listen to the voice in her head. But when Nick arrives, the man is nowhere to be found, and Nick is left wondering what happened. Sarah says there was a man, but Nick gets mad at her for not believing him when he says there is no one standing in front of their door. Nick tries to convince her that he is there to help her and that everyone is taking advantage of her kindness, but Sarah does not believe him. Sarah apologizes to him right away. Just then, Nick remembers that he has something for her and pulls out a box with a beautiful red dress that she could wear to the party that afternoon. When she goes to the storage, she finds the old family photos and the same key that the man gave her. Then the same man appears out of nowhere and starts strangling her. As he does this, she realizes that the man looks exactly like Nick. Rose does not care what Sarah thinks about the party and says rude things about Nick, which makes Sarah angry and furious. Sarah fired Rose from her job right away. Then, while working in the yard, she pulls out some weeds and finds a bloody lump of a root. Since Sarah is not feeling well, this makes her sick to her stomach. Nick wants to cancel the dinner party, but Sarah will not let him because she does not want to ruin it. On the night of the dinner, Sarah again finds a key in her drawer. Since she is nervous about the dinner, Nick gives her a pill to calm her down. Sarah gets dressed in a red dress and lies down on her bed, but what she sees next is completely out of the ordinary. Her reflection in the mirror is wearing a white dress, and then she hears a girl scream. Are you enjoying this video? Click subscribe. You would be helping me continue to create more sexy movie recaps just like this for you. Things get weird. Sarah is shocked to see Rose come back to the party. When she asks Nick, he says Rose is there to help him cook the pork. Soon, the conversation turns to cannibalism, which is a strange thing to talk about at a dinner party. Nick then lets other guests in on the secret. A mysterious man outside the house. She asks for another drink, and Rose gives her a drink with something in it. As soon as she drinks it, Sarah's vision starts to blur, and the man next to her puts his hand on her lap. Even though she tells him to stop, he doesn't, so the drunk woman cannot get away. Sarah sticks the fork into his hand. Now a man has been stabbed with a fork, but no one is upset about it. Instead, they are all laughing and cheering like it is just another night. Gasping for air, she drags her bloody body to her parents' room and sees a man in a pig mask standing behind her mother. Again, she wakes up in the bathtub, but this time the pig man is behind her, and right in front of her is the frozen scene. Sarah is so confused that she runs up to her room. Nick follows her, but before he can do anything, Tom steps in, seeing this as a chance to get out of there. Sarah gets the key from her drawer, and when she opens the door with it, she finds herself in a completely dark room with only a single light source drawing her toward it. She feels like she is surrounded by demons, so she runs for her life and ends up in a room full of books. There, she sees 2 books, one with Rose's name on it and the other with her own. And when she opens them, Nick shows up behind her, and she looks out the window and sees Tom just below it. Nick then tells her that the voice in her head led the racers to her wrist. Tom yells that Nick is lying to her, but Nick keeps trying to win her back. At that moment, she sees the scene of her mother stabbing her father, but now she sees the pigman guiding her mother from behind to kill her father before leading her to put a knife in her own throat. At the same time, Tom throws holy water at Nick's face, and when it hits his skin, Julia is screaming at the top of her lungs for it to kill her instead of her sister as Tom reads the spells and pours holy water on Sarah. After a few minutes of fighting, Tom decides it is over, and the doctor leaves after making sure Sarah's vital signs are stable. Tom tells the girls that when a monster leaves a host, it leaves behind a hole that does not go away for a while. He still tells Sarah to be careful and tells Julie to keep an eye on her sister after everything is over. Julie says goodbye to Tom and goes back to Sarah, where she gives her a pill. Julie sits in front of her and tells her that she is the one who found her in the bathtub. She tells Sarah that she is there for her whenever she needs her. When Julia tells Sarah that everything is going to be okay, Sarah is suddenly reminded of Nick. Why? Because Julie gives off the same vibe as Nick and has the same suspicious pill. Sarah also remembers Julie screaming and pleading with Nick not to take her instead. As the movie ends, Julie tells Sarah that everything is going to be different. Did you enjoy the video? Click subscribe. You would be helping me continue to create more sexy movie recaps just like this for you. Now click this video to enjoy another daily sexy movie recap. You won't want to miss out on its shocking and satisfying ending.